Launching game. Not entirely sure I have the mental fortitude for a game like this right now, but we'll, you know, maybe it'll be better that way. Oh my god.
Play it cool.
I would love to lower the volume. I would love to lower the volume, but it won't let me. Okay. So this is Conarium. And we're going to, of course, do some resolution options. I don't know too much about this game, but what I do know interests me. It's a Lovecraftian game. Draws heavy influence from Harry Potter, Lovecraft, HP. And it seems like it will be perfect for Halloween. So I'm hoping I can start this now. I'm hoping I can start this now and then maybe work through it like on Halloween day itself. Might have to turn off motion blur. So let's hope this is a good Spooptober stream. This will be one of two main Spooptober games for Halloween itself. I have another one.
All life is only a set of pictures in the brain, among which there is no difference betwixt those born of real things and those born of inward dreamings.
I wonder if this has taken any influence from Eternal Darkness. Jellyfish. Jellyfish, jellyfish. Okay, a couple things need to be done real quick, which is motion blur can fuck itself. Vertical sync on would be good for me for a game like this, because it would mean that I don't burn out my video card. I don't strain the computer a little bit while I stream it. So...
No more can we harbor ourselves on the safest shores, for there are things that cannot be undone.
And who are you? Oh. I like shitty devices. Devices that don't look like they should work, but they do.
Oh, my head. The pain. It is unbearable.
I wonder if it has anything to do with that electricity orb that you sleep next to, you sick bastard.
At last. The pain is subsiding. I thought my head was about to explode.
Okay, crouch, run, save. There's a quick save, there's a torch, and there's an inventory. Hand. Okay. Visually, it's really nice. Look at that lighting. It's like very three-dimensional lighting. I like that.
It's too dark. To be safe, I better find a light source.
Just walk around with a fucking lamp. That's the game mechanic. The game mechanic is you must walk around with a lamp and find an outlet at all times. I'm kidding. Someone will believe that if I don't say I'm kidding. Observation notes. Participants consumed the mixture 5 minutes ago and entered some kind of altered state of consciousness. So DMT? About. All of them are now vaguely mumbling in their sleep, like they're chanting something, but the sounds are not conscious. They seem restless. I detect movements in their limbs, and as always, I wonder if it is because of something they are actually seeing beyond. As always, the device is humming and glowing, but this time the atmosphere is different from the previous sessions. Whatever the reason for this may be, it feels almost like this fantastic device is signaling something in a code I don't recognize. It's becoming more and more stressful to be alone here in the midst of this cold, dim, and incense-filled room. 7:19 p.m. It sounds to me like the intensity of the subject's mumblings are now much stronger. Colors and shades are dancing on the walls with the rhythmic ins and outs of the device. I can hear the wind howling outside. Maybe a snowstorm is approaching, or something worse. Exactly 5 minutes and 3 seconds have passed now. They have drifted beyond my area of expertise and guidance. I cannot do anything further except for wish for their safe return. So they just got, like, fucking... It's like a controlled, like, psychedelic drug test.
This device, its noises are resonating in my mind.
Right. Well, I need a light. Wow, that's a big-ass flashlight. That seems super inconvenient. Imagine being encumbered by this diversa of Nightside and beyond. There's the plant. That's the thing that's getting them all loopy. Lovecraft, as I've said many times.
Anybody here?
I've read
Everybody.
a variety of his short stories, and they're weird as fuck. I believe Lovecraft was on opiates, so I wonder if this story has anything to do with that. And also, yes, I'm aware H.P. Lovecraft was a shithead and a product of his time, but I mean, that's not why he's remembered. It's because his short stories had a big influence on horror.
It's stuck.
But yeah, homeboy was tripping. Homeboy was tripping.
Locked.
Some say the inspiration for some of his insanity and his interest in insanity. Pequod? Familiar visits. Oh, well, obviously there's a correlation between his bizarre writings and his drug addictions. Familiar visits the lower chambers once more in the form of a black cat. Its spectral image echoes throughout the 7 rooms. What sin called it out from this hollow, looming, dim, and ghost-like? Strong snowstorm is expected to hit in the next 2 weeks. It is in the utmost importance to take all cautionary measures. Radio connection between the base and the ship may not be available during this period. It's like got elements of the Thing. So yeah, I can open this, but I can't really do anything with that stuff yet. Weather notice. Health notice. Crew members who are having sleeping problems. Cabin fever. Insomnia, strong headaches, visions. Go to a checkup. Okay. Stop those bloody sessions. Anything you'd recommend from Lovecraft? Mountains of Madness. Nyarlathotep. The names of a lot of the stories I read escape me, but you just buy a book, or I mean, most of his short stories are online. You can just download them or view them on a web page. You probably type like top 10 Lovecraft short stories, and you'll find something that you'll probably end up enjoying. Dagon is excellent. Vinny, can you try saying Nyarlathotep again? Okay, Nyarlathotep. Color Out of Space. Yeah, I like the Color Out of Space. That one was good. There is one, I forget the name of it, but there is one where he's visited by some, like, fucking wizard in New York City, and then he sees what New York City looks like in the future. It was a weird one. There's, like, some alchemist thing.
My mind is cloudy. All I can remember is the successful
The necromancer?
establishment of the Upward Antarctic base. And after that, nothing is clear in my mind.
So yeah, this is definitely got elements of Mountains of Madness, and also reminds me of, like I said before, it reminds me of The Thing. I should watch that soon. Okay. Which one? There are 3? Oh, I like John Carpenter's The Thing. Let's not talk about the most recent The Thing. And I've not seen the original, which I've heard didn't age as well as, the Carpenter one.
Tank is empty.
Okay, so put some gas in here. Or we'll just take a piss in there.
Locked.
I'm kind of getting into this. Like, I'm seeing what kind of game it has the potential to be, and it does remind me quite a bit of Soma. Observer. I mean, that kind of puzzle-solving first-person exploration thing. Soma was just great. Soma was so good. Let me just double check. I think everything's good in here. Yep. But, yeah, Soma was good. Observer was great. What else did I play that had a similar vibe to Soma? I feel like there was another one. I can't remember the name of it. But... Bubsy? Oh, okay. Auxiliary power needs to be enabled manually from outside. Didn't I just do that? Yes. There wasn't just a person in the distance, right?
What was that?
4th time today or so. There's been a person in the distance.
It's locked. Locked.
Nikolai Gogol.
If his coat is just right here, where is he now? Locked.
Okay, probably need that. That walkie-talkie reminds me of, those look like people figures. Huh. Really nice model and texture work, right? Look at the way the lighting reflects off of this fucking thing. Holy... It's fantastic. I really like that. We take a lot of little things for granted, but when you have a game that looks really nice, it's like...
If his coat is just right here, where is he now? Locked.
But, that walkie-talkie reminded me that I've been watching Stranger Things Season 2. I'm about 4 or 5 episodes in, and it's so far maybe not as good as Season 1, but I'm really enjoying it. It had some pretty, entertaining moments. Definitely, there's a viable series here.
My door? I don't remember where my keys are.
I like the characters.
Locked.
I like the atmosphere. It does beat you over the head a little bit with the, like, check out the 80s nostalgia. Every now and then, it's like a close-up on, like, the Terminator. But, it's really still great. I mean, the music is great. Visually, it's fun. I like to look at all the fashion, but the acting is still on point. The sci-fi stuff is great. It's just a really good show. I wasn't really looking forward to it either, Season 2. I was like, eh. How could they beat the first season? And I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. When's the stream I'm doing with Wolfhard? With, Finn? I don't know. I'll ask him eventually. It was a charity incentive, but we'll do something, and it's gonna happen. Well, no, tragic. It's confirmed. So, scientifically, the pineal gland, or pineal gland, if you want to call it, also known as the pineal body, Conarium, or epiphysis cerebri, is a small endocrine gland in the vertebrate brain, named after its shape, which resembles that of a pine cone. It is located in the epithalamus, near the center of the brain between the two hemispheres. The pineal gland produces melatonin, a serotonin-derived hormone, which modulates sleep patterns in both circadian and seasonal cycles. Didn't I play a game where the pineal gland became like a little penis? Anyway, but mystic traditions and philosophy ascribe it a different role. René Descartes regarded it as a principal seat of the soul. That was a movie? What movie was that again? From Beyond. Oh, that was, Red Letter Media covered a movie where the pineal gland became a penis. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Principal seat of the soul and the place in which all our thoughts are formed. In the writings of Madame Blavatsky, it was explained with the Hindu concept of the third eye, or the Ajna chakra. As part of the human body, not fully understood today, it holds its deep-rooted place as one of the most important links between our material and continually degrading mystic nature. That's, very true. That's very true. We still don't really fully understand what's going on with that gland, but it activates when, certain drugs happen. So... I know we're close to what we've been looking for during the adaptation sessions we hold here in the meeting room, I feel a guidance of some sort, something pointing towards the destination we seek. This could mean we are now in sync with the ancient source. The wearable Conarium we're carrying on our left arms connects and thus receives sensations from the same ancient source. Sometimes I wonder whether there has ever been another soul during humanity's relatively brief period of existence who was able to achieve such a feat. Within some shunned and elusive sources I have gathered from around the world, it is said that the extraterrestrial species, the Elder Thing race, built it after passing through a stage of mechanized life on other planets, but its purpose remains unclear. Some pretty fucking bizarre revelations already.
Locked.
Let me guess, I need a key that looks like a starfish to get in there.
Did I lock my door? I don't remember where my keys are.
My name is Frank. Okay. So. That is a mustache. These nightmares have become unbearable. I still see the same man in my nocturnal visions, but now he is holding something in his hand which I believe to be a lotus flower. It's a little something in my throat. I'm all good. We seem to be continuing this grave and serious conversation again and again, but I still can't remember the contents. During working hours, sometimes I hear his voice through the radio. It is not a form of meaningful sentences, but more like some unconscious mutterings. I'm afraid to tell anyone about this, for I hate the very idea of the suspension I will probably be facing. Sketchbook. One of my composite sculptures we've come across. This bloom is like crazy in this game. During initial field trips, open third eye on its forehead as well as an inside its hand, which I think indicates some kind of state of knowing because allusions to knowledge in the Elder Thing recur all the time in almost every bas-relief we've discovered so far. This leads me to believe these creatures inhabiting those halls have acquired some kind of knowledge from the Elder Things, fabled creatures of primal myths. Bab. What's the lore about the Bab? Key. Oh. Oh, those are gloves. That's good. I was hoping they weren't hands.
Locked. It's locked.
Got a Bible. Check under the bed for, or check under the crib. Is Telebab going to be in this game? No, that was, sorry, that was just, that was a different thing. No. No Telebab. What the fuck game was Telebab in?
This device. Its noises are resonating in my mind.
That was Observer. Okay, I got it confused with Soma for a second. even though Observer had some pretty, or rather, Soma had some pretty interesting companions. Okay, so I have a key. Johann de Witt. Oh, let's go to Johann's. 5 nights at Johann's. Or we can go to the infirmary instead. Okay. So we found out that Johann is in fact the doctor here. Just start, like, pounding all this medicine. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, just start pounding it until the voices go away. Okay, this is a statement of consent, so that, you know, they're signing, they got all the signatures, so that everyone here, including my character, could do these drugs. And it would be legal.
It's stuck. Locked.
If you guys are ever looking for an interesting documentary, check out DMT, the spirit molecule. Even if you are not into drugs and you don't really have, like, you think it's stupid and you're like, dude, weed, it's still a documentary that's kind of fascinating and bizarre. And our body produces a little bit of DMT when we go to sleep, when we dream, like a very, very minute amount. And that, if taken in larger quantities, you go off into space. You go off into some different fucking realms of existence, and you see these things called, apparently, machine elves, which I've talked about. I've talked about a number of times. Now, I do have some interest in, I've never done, like, hard psychedelics, and I don't think I ever would, but I'm interested in the topic of it, because some of the stories I've heard are, like, really fascinating. And again, some of the podcasts I listen to, they talk about this shit. And this documentary, DMT, the spirit molecule, is pretty much one of those things that you watch and you start to say to yourself, how? A number of people go off into different realms, so to speak, and have the same experience. Even though it's, like, you know, a year apart, like, they end up seeing, like, almost the same thing. And it's, well, I mean, it's something that should be studied. My friend, a couple of my friends took DMT years ago, and they described it as being as crazy as you would think if you watched that documentary. Like, as crazy as that. Fuck, I need to find the lockers again. Or the rooms. Okay, so James... Dr. Faust... Where's,
Locked.
Johann. Have you watched Enter the Void? No. I've heard things about it. Maybe it's his locker. Yep, it was his locker. It's a lot of reading. So there's psychological problems for the whole crew. Dr. Frank Gilman, who's, well, he's not a doctor, but Frank Gilman, who's my character. The subjects awoke screaming in their beds, demoralizing the crew members. They have deviations in their behavioral patterns, deep changes in their mental conditions. They behaved like someone else, some sort of multiple personality disorder, but it's too early to tell. Other subjects are not too far a cry from the normal personalities, but the difference is, of course, obvious. Conditions getting worse. I informed the doctor and warned him about the consequences. He looked worried, but nevertheless hasn't mentioned it to me. weather conditions we have been facing, it seems extremely unlikely we shall receive help from the outside world, or we'll be able to send anybody away for a thorough medical examination, which is something that they...
Just right here. Where is he now?
Something they should do is send out for help. Okay, so there's storage. There's that radio room that I want to go to. Or we can do this. What was documentary? It's called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. Wasn't Vinny struggling to read in Ready Player Fuck just a while ago? Here's the thing about struggling to read while you're streaming. For one, there's a little bit of added pressure because you want to read well on stream. Two, I found when I try to go fast, when I try to read things that I don't care about very quickly, I inevitably trip over my words. If I have some interest in the subject matter and I take my time and I try to absorb it and understand what it's saying, it's not so bad. I can generally read through it with a little bit more accuracy and clarity. It's just when it's meme trash, I just want to get through it quickly, and then I trip.
It's stuck.
Is it arboreum or arboreum? How do you say that? Arboreum, I think.
It's stuck.
You're gonna be hearing that a lot. Vomitorium? Oh, that's how you say it? Dr. Faust is very tight-lipped about how he came up with the strange exploration device he built long ago. The only thing he has told me is that he came across some shunned and forbidden volumes about a device of extraterrestrial origin, but again, these sources do not hint that any existed on Earth except in the dreams of those who liked to chew on a certain alkaloidal herb. The sessions we hold in the meeting room to adapt our nervous systems to the alien impulses of the machine were frightening at first. If used too much, it affects the body to breaking point. But now, I'm used to its non-human sensations. I've started to feel like the device is clearing my mind to make it absorb much more than ever before. I feel unconfined and much more receptive. But the most peculiar aspect of the sessions are that because of it's a shared experience, I'm able to receive impressions, ideas, and even memories which belong to the other participants. Usually my mind wanders after the sessions end, and I cannot focus my thoughts until I have slept for several hours. That strange device surely disorients feelings and bodily functions, but I believe that what it offers is of immense importance. So I guess that's that weird fucking sphere. I'm starting to, piece together slowly what happened to everybody. Or at least, what happened to my character in relation to everybody. But who locked all the doors is my main question. That's the greater conspiracy.
It's stuck.
Huh. That's a flashback. Legit textures.
Looks like I need something to get this elevator to work.
It can now reach the tower and bottom levels below the base. Camp equipment and parts for the portable submarines are being transported to the first campsite.
Looks like I need something to get this elevator to work.
Have you encountered a single enemy yet?
Stop.
I don't think this is supposed to be... Wait a minute, I think you have the wrong idea about what I'm playing. This isn't Doom. I think it's supposed to be like a slow burn. Where you... I don't think there's combat, is what I'm trying to say. There probably will be, I would say, quote-unquote enemies, but, maybe not ones that you can shoot in the face. Maybe just kind of like fucked up dudes with like pineal glands that, protrude from their forehead. Sorry, that was me putting my hand back on the mouse. That's why that crazy motion happens from time to time.
Locked. It's stuck.
Okay, I saw another area. I saw that radio room. But who the fuck knows how to get back there? Doesn't appear to be a map. So, you know, this is a game immersive enough that I want to put the attention into understanding its layout and, like, making mental maps. And it's also small enough that you can kind of do that without too much difficulty.
This is Upper Watt Expedition Base. Pequod, please come in. I repeat, this is Upper Watt Expedition Base. Pequod, do you hear me? There is someone who can hear me. Please, come in.
Snake, it's Kaz.
Some electrical condition in the disturbed air seems to prevent communication.
We're coming to pick you up, Snake. Like, there's no reason for this camera to be this detailed. I want to look cool. I want cool goggles. It's for the immersion. Yeah, all these little detailed things that you can look at. I love shit like that. It's all about the immersion. That's a seed of life, isn't it? Or a circle of life. Circles within circles. I made that out of cheese once. Cheese whiz, to be precise. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do next, but I do know I'm, like, kind of really tired. So... probably gonna fuck off. I opened a room somewhere? Well, I'm really loving the atmosphere of this, and I think that this game has a lot of potential. So I'm excited to continue, but I can't really focus right now.
Stuck.
Guess, I don't know what room I opened, if I opened anything. Canteen. It's worth the slow burn. That's good to know. So you heard it, chat. Someone said it's worth the slow burn. There is more in the basement? Okay, so then we'll go to the basement and we'll just save the game, and like I said, on Halloween I can get back to it. I mean, I definitely bit off a little bit more than I could chew with Cry of Fear and this, but you know, it's worth it. Okay. Save. To be continued. So far, so good. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. This has been a very crazy weekend for me, and coming home in the heavy rain after a convention where I had to be up early and didn't get too much sleep and was a little hungover. I did the best I could. So tomorrow we'll try to do some Mario Odyssey, and maybe I'll tackle Cry of Fear again. We'll see. We'll see. Even if I have to kind of do the remainder of Cry of Fear after Halloween, I might just say, fuck it, let's just do that. But regardless, Halloween day itself, I'll have this plus something else that you may enjoy too. So, let's see if there's enough. There's probably a ton of art, but maybe I'll do it tomorrow so I can just pass out